Welcome to the Nerd Party.
Hello, everybody at home, and welcome to Second Contact, a Lower Decks commentary podcast. I am your co-host, Tristan Riddell, and with me, as she always is,
Charlotte Schmidt. Hello.
Hello, today we are talking about episode 7 from season 5, entitled Fully Dilated. Now, don't clench too hard in fear, because I think they're talking about time dilation, because this one
Thank goodness.
is, the Memory Alpha description is, it's a pre-warp society undercover girls trip.
Woohoo!
Woo-woo!
All right, we're back to the funner descriptions. That's nice.
Yeah, this one, a lot happens in this one. How do I phrase this? A lot happens, but it's simultaneously a slow pace. It's interesting.
I think that's what happens when you go to a pre-warp civilization where the pace of life is a little slower, things take more time. You got to do a lot of things by hand, so there's really not a whole lot of choice but to take things slower.
All right, if this is your first time listening to us, we will do a commentary over the episode, whether you queue it up on Paramount Plus or however you watch it. After you see the CBS Production Studios or CBS Studios Production, whatever, once that goes to black, hit pause, and then we'll do a countdown, 3, 2, 1, play, and then we all hit play the same time, and we can watch it together. Or if you don't have it in front of you, or if you're on your commute or anything like that, we will keep it entertaining, even if you do not have visual stimuli. So, Shar, are you ready?
I am ready to stimulate our audience.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1, play.
All right.
Here we go. Okay. Oh, geez. I was wondering when the Cerritos was going to come in. I was like, what are we holding on?
Bazoom.
I was like, did I hit play? I don't know if I hit play.
Yeah, it's for a moment it was just kind of like, are we going to do this or?
So we have another rip in reality. This is clearly building to something.
Yeah, and apparently these things have been happening the whole time, even if we haven't been directly seeing it every single week, but they've been working on many of these, and frankly, they're old pros by now.
I absolutely love that they introduced a purple Enterprise D, because this is one of those things that you can explore in animation and it not be like, not have the audience go like, what? Because if you did this in live action, people will be like, well, that's just weird. Like that's just silly.
Also, the logistics of doing that in live action are way different than in animation. And why is it so charming? Why is it so charming to have a purple Enterprise D? Like, I don't get it, and yet I totally fell for it too.
And I love how Freeman was just like, yeah, and they were battling like a clone army of Tasha Yars or something.
Or something.
like, whatever. I don't care. It doesn't involve me.
We don't even know. It's fine.
So here we find out that Tendi and T'Lyn are vying for the same position of senior science officer. This is a big deal.
Yes, senior science officer. Yeah.
So we're going from, like Tendi coming onto the Cerritos as green as possible, and I mean that figuratively and literally. And
yes.
As an ensign, and now at the end of season 5, she's vying for a senior position. I mean, this is no more lower decks. She's not a lower decker anymore by the end of this episode.
Our kids are growing up, man. Yeah, I know. It all happens so fast.
Soon we are going to have empty nest syndrome. It's going to be a thing.
It's going to happen because lower decks will be done for the foreseeable future, and then who knows? Yeah. I'm still very sad about that, and I really hope at some point, like, we get a lower decks movie or some kind of feature, like how we're getting the Section 31 movie. Well, do a lower decks feature. Come on. There's so much potential to keep this thing going. And it should have been the show that went for 10 seasons.
It really should have. It should have been the first Star Trek show that went on for 10 seasons. Now, I know that there's some people who are just like, yeah, but it's only 10 episodes. And so you'd only be getting like 5 seasons of, like 90s television. But yeah, we're in a different climate. But yeah, I wanted to see this. And you've heard me talk about this before, but like someone floated the idea of Rick and Morty um, like coming out once a month, like every episode once a
Oh,
month,
yeah, yeah,
full
yeah.
time. This is one of those shows where I really wish they could have done that. Where, like, can you imagine like 10 years where every month we get a Lower Decks episode, just a little,
Oh my gosh.
taste
Like,
every month.
bring back event TV, and that's how you would do it for Star Trek fans. Like, we'd get one episode a month. Oh my God. Do you know how much we'd be drooling over that and excited and ready to go? Like, come
Yeah.
on.
Love the idea.
What
So
missed
what did you think
opportunities?
of the makeup of the horns, the
The
hands, whatever
horns.
coming out of their foreheads? What did you think about this look?
It reminds me, it looks a lot like an animated series race for whatever reason. But really what gets me in this scene is Dr. Ta'ana. Last week she was just totally ripping all over Boims, and here she's basically saying many bleeped things about plastic surgery and how that's not really her job, and yet here she is. I get a kick out of it.
I laughed out loud at this joke when Boimler was talking about Rutherford's stubble. He's like, "Yeah, your stubble's coming in really well. I bet you're getting a lot of compliments." He's like, "Yeah," and then Rutherford's being nice and says, "I bet you are too." And Boimler, in complete honesty, no hint of sarcasm, "I'm not." You're like,
Yeah.
no one's telling me that.
He's got the 16-year-old beard thing going where he's trying to grow it, whereas like Rutherford, it's effortless. And that's just the way it is. Some guys can grow a beard really easily, others not so much. And I love that that's now a thing. And it harkens back to when, say, Geordi would occasionally grow facial hair for a couple of episodes and then it'd be gone. And I feel like that's what Rutherford's doing. And I adore that. But poor Boims is so oblivious. Like, dude, read the room. This is not a good idea.
We're going to see Rutherford with a beard next week. I really do believe that. Like,
you think so?
I really do. I really
By the
think
end of the season, it's like down to his chest. He's got a ZZ Top look going.
So time dilation, man, they went full on with time dilation here. I mean,
for
even
real.
Like, okay, so when the Doc did it in Voyager, in blink of an eye, it was a couple of years. But the thing is, it's the Doc.
Yeah.
He's a hologram. He can adjust. It's okay. He's not flesh and blood. It's fine. Like it's passage of time doesn't really mean that much to him. With this, we're talking about three humanoids.
He doesn't age in the same way.
Right. We have three humanoids who age and like have psyches and I feel isolation and will miss their loved ones and their lives. And I think by the end we find out that they were gone for an entire year.
Yeah, just about a whole Earth year. So a matter of seconds is a whole year for them. And it's all because the dudes are idiots and spilled their drinks on the console. Like the one thing that they didn't have to do, of course it happens. It's like, you fools.
I want to get back to talking about that, but this is one thing I really appreciated is that we actually see them destroy the stuff that crash landed.
Yeah.
Where it's always just
they find the
mentioned
crash
in Star
site.
Trek, where they're just like, "Oh yeah, no, we'll pick that up," or like, "We don't want to contaminate anything, so we'll just take care of it." And then then like we actually see him like phasing it, like, "Nope, nope, nope, nope."
Yeah, you know what? That is the Cerritos job, right? Is a lot of the big fish, they'll find the thing and say, "Okay, go fix the thing," and then that is their job, is to do that. And here they are. Now, the whole Data's head thing. I think I mentioned before we were recording that Brent Spiner was not necessarily on my list of cameos that I had on my wish list for Lower Decks before the show is up, just because we've gotten so much Brent Spiner, and he was in Picard, and he's wonderful. Don't get me wrong. Don't at me, folks. But we've seen so many incarnations of Data and Sungs and, the whole family. But here, it's so charming that it's wonderful to see him again.
It's true. I feel the exact same way that you do. We've gotten, oh my gosh, so much Data in TNG. Like it was like TNG was so Picard and Data heavy, and then the 4 movies, the two main characters were Picard and Data every single time. And then the entire focus of season 1 of Picard was Data, even though he wasn't in it the entire time. Like, and then season 3, a huge chunk was devoted to Data too. It's just so much Data. But at the same time, this episode was, like you said, charming. Like seeing him, like it was just the right amount. Okay, so this kind of pisses me off. I know it's Lower Decks, and I know it's supposed to be
What?
crazy, but these people are stranded due to time dilation. They have no idea how they're acclimating, how they're reacting, if they're okay. All they have to do is go to a different transporter room. That's all they have to do.
You would think, yeah. But no, we've got to do it for the laughs, I guess. Because either way, you're taking up very precious seconds. Does it take more time to go to the next transporter room as fast as you can or to wipe off the michelada?
Well, I guess that's
That's
true.
goo.
I guess that's true. I'm wondering, like, because we're seeing it. Yeah, okay, that's a really solid point. Because even though we're seeing it throughout the episode, maybe that only took them like a couple of seconds. Maybe that only took them like 30
Right.
seconds to clean it off or something like that.
And even so, that's a long time for the girls undercover mission here. And they miss taquito night. Think about how many taquito nights they miss. So many taquito nights.
Actually, they only missed the one because of time dilation.
Well, technically. But like for them, it's been a whole year. That's like 52 weeks of taquitos they did not get.
There you go. Okay, I got you.
That's my
so
point.
what did you think of the Snell character?
I didn't care too much about him. There's always that town snoop who's just up in everybody's business. Nobody likes him. He needs to mind his own damn business. But I totally get what he's doing, in this episode. He's got to find them out. And I don't know. I don't have many thoughts on him. How about you?
Oh, I thought like how they reacted to him was funny. Like, Mariner just getting annoyed with him, like literally hitting him with a broom, like, get out of here, Snell. that makes me
right?
laugh.
Yeah, she's got to go speed dating. She's got things to do.
And then like later on in the episode, I think a townsperson says, get a job, Snell.
Yeah, toward the end. And seriously, what does this guy do for a living where he can just be all up in everybody's business?
So this is very reminiscent of when Data went back to the 19th century, met Mark Twain and all that kind of business, because he created
Totally.
a battery or a transmitter or something. I can't remember what he created, but what the hand crank that Tindy made is very reminiscent of that. It's not a 1-to-1, but it's the similar vibe to it.
Yeah. Oh, the whole vibe, like the reminiscent stuff to Time's Arrow and everything is that I think is a part of the charm of having Data in this episode, but it's 90s TNG Data. And Brent Spiner does a wonderful job of articulating his characterization of Data, and that really comes through in this episode, where it's not Data from the movies or Picard. It's different in those incarnations. Yeah. Here he is back to classic Data.
This is something that I love Tindy's character, and I know that this is a part of her character that we've seen time and time and again, that she gets obsessed and she gets oblivious during her obsession. It's very on brand, but it's also very tiresome, because think about it.
Thank you. Yes, it is.
You're telling me that for, we're probably at like the 6-month mark, or actually we're at the 4-month mark now. And soon we're going to be at the 6-month mark. And then later on, we're going to get at the 1-year mark. You're telling me that during that 1 year, T'Lyn and Tindy didn't really have that moment of explanation. They didn't have that moment of what's going on.
Right.
That just doesn't feel right.
Yeah, like T'Lyn never saw Data's head, didn't figure out what was going on all these days that she's spending up in the attic. Yeah, I got questions about that. And I'm also not I'm not a big fan of overcompetitive Tendi. Like I get it, because she wants the job so much. But again, I feel sort of like this is a bit of a regression for this character. Whereas, Boymes has had his regressions, Mariner has gone back and forth, and now it's Tendy's turn, I guess. But this reminds me of Tendi a couple seasons ago. And has she not grown beyond that? Now, they do try to rationalize it. She's just like, yeah, I guess all that time on Orion kind of did a thing on me. But nevertheless, I don't know if I like it, and I really hope we move on from that from here on out, just because of how things end here.
Well, we only got 3 more episodes, so I don't think we have much time to move on or course correct or anything like that.
This is true. We don't have much time.
So at the end, it becomes apparently alternate purple Data, recommends to Freeman that both of them become the senior science officer, which I personally think is weird. It feels like a cop out to me. What did you think about that?
What is the cop out? That they are both
That they
senior
both
science
become
officers?
senior science officer.
No. I think that's the perfect solution. Think about how excited Data is to get back to Geordi. They are the science team on the Enterprise. This is just the Cerritos version, is Tendi and Talin.
But they're they're the science bros, but one is the chief engineer and one is the science officer. And it's not like there's I think that's what bugs me, is that can you really have two senior science officers? Because one has to be more senior than the other. I don't like it. Weird.
I mean, I'm not sure how the dynamics of that work. Yeah, like they both have to sign off on everything, or I don't know. Maybe we'll learn about that in a future episode. But I don't know. I like that as a resolution just because both are so incredibly qualified and both do complement one another so well.
So Mariner spent 2 months in jail because she poked somebody's eye with her horn.
Yeah.
That's
that is
intense.
A long time.
She's
yeah,
taking
these
it like
guys
a
don't
champ.
play around. Yeah, for Mariner especially, yeah, she really has. And meanwhile, Talin is just absolutely growing the biggest freaking produce anyone's ever seen. The melons look like grapes, and I do love the double entendre of that whole thing, you know, her and her melons.
Good luck with your melons or something like that.
Yeah, that. What did you think about Mariner being so obsessed with wanting to have like her whole life experience, her probe life, as she calls it, during this experience, and yet she does all the wrong things to land herself in jail, and yet she was the one who was telling Tendi like, "Hey, cool out, we can't be detected, blah blah blah. Don't lay low." Whereas she's doing anything but lay low.
It would have been way more interesting if she actually accomplished something, like if she had some personal growth, where maybe we actually see her take on a project or do something, or I don't know, like where. Like, we keep talking about Beckett potentially regressing or going back to the old, like season 2, season 1 Beckett. It would have been interesting if we saw some real 1 year of growth from these people.
I totally agree. Oh, that would have been so nice instead of carving out an awful sounding soap flute, which I don't know about you, but did you have to learn the recorder when you were in elementary school?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Flashbacks to that and horrific squeaky memories.
This Talin is really flirting with the Prime Directive here.
Flirting is a really good word for that. 'Cause, I mean, she is introducing something new to the market, and yes, it's a substance that they have, but she did invent it. Right? So it's like that transparent aluminum quandary. Like, well, how do we know she didn't invent the thing?
And she affected the local economy by becoming rich.
Yes.
It's just, yeah.
Yeah.
That was we pushed the boundaries on that one.
A little
it
bit.
Didn't
And then
break
what
it,
happens
but it
to her
bent
kiosk?
it pretty hard. Yeah.
Like they're just all of a sudden gone. Like, is Snell going to take over? Is that going to be his job now? What's up? One thing I really do love about this episode is every time we cut to the visual of the house that was abandoned that they've settled in, every time we cut to it, there's little improvements that you see throughout, showing that they've been working on it.
That.
Love that so much. Also, it looks like a really cozy house, and I would like to live there.
This definitely feels like my mother would dream about this house, like that in the same location, in the same way. She would be like, yes, no, that is away from people and in the forest, a little cottage. Yes.
Yeah. It just looks like a very peaceful, nice, quiet homestead, but you're in proximity to town, so it's not like it's really difficult to go out and grab things when you need them.
This was the hornless demon head. That's got to be one of the best new names for Data.
Yeah. There's some really good lines in like terminology introduced in this episode. Like the purple D made me laugh so hard just because no one's going to pervert that line.
There is a lot of good one-liners. Like even we just missed one, but like Talin saying like, "Can I interest you in another session of juggling?" or something to that effect. It like said in the Talin way. It makes me laugh.
And of course, there's the Carbon Creek reference, which hey, that was cute. And we did reference the Voyager episode that you talked about earlier. Quite a few callbacks here, but very organically done. They're not shooing this in. It's all very much entrenched in this story.
Absolutely. And when we get to it, I'll talk about it. But I positively love Beckett fangirling over Data.
Right.
It's my favorite part of the episode.
Yeah, she's all of us. You're kind of famous, and I think about you all the time. Can I hold your
just
head?
Like the way that she delivers that line is so like, I think about you like all the time.
Like it would be creepy if it wasn't so cute.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Like if it was coming from another person, it probably would come off as creepy.
Yeah. Good job, Tawny Newsome, for not making that creepy.
Right. Also, I do like that Purple Data was like, yeah, don't turn me off mid-conversation. That was very season 1 of the Doctor in Voyager vibes. Like,
yes.
Like, hey, I'm sentient. Don't turn me off.
This is true. Yeah, respect me as a person, please.
Yeah, it's this right here. Like, this was not the big moment that they were hoping it to be. When this was the encapsulation of, maybe this was all the friends that we made along the way. Like that's the real journey. Like that kind of thing. You're like,
yeah, but is it though? Like we didn't get to know the prison buddies.
Yeah.
And 2 of them are murderers, and
those
aren't necessarily friends you want, maybe. And
yeah,
I agree. The lack of growth is a very missed opportunity where they could have come back completely different people, and the rest of the crew is just kind of dumbfounded because they obviously went through something really profound down there, and only they know about it. At least that's how it could have been.
Yeah, absolutely. And like maybe not like completely different, but like something needs to change. Maybe like Tendi becomes more confident in her abilities, or Talin becomes a little bit more relaxed and I don't know. It's just I don't want to rewrite the episode. It felt like they wasted their time there.
Yeah, well, there could have been more to it. I mean, yes, Tendi and Talin did work their things out, but like you said, that took a whole year. Oh, you guys, come on.
I do love this solution, though, when they drew a face on the grape. And they're just like, you're insane, dude. It's just a face on a grape.
Yes, and for whatever reason, it looks really reminiscent of Boimler. Maybe it's just the purple. I'm not sure, but yeah, I mean, this totally checks, right? Is we're going to make the town snitch, Snell, look like an absolute fool around the townsfolk, and he'll never, ever, ever be able to prove anything, ever.
I love the comment on his temperature, because it's true. We've all thought that.
Yes.
Like what does he feel like? Like if I touch his hand or his cheek, what am I going to feel?
Right. Yeah. Is it like frigid cold, or does Data retain something resembling a body temperature? If so, what is it? Right. That's how you know this show was written by a fan.
I think, yeah, that's a really solid point, Char, is that kind of moment where like Mariner is us in that moment.
Yeah. 100%.
Where we're like, yeah, you're really famous. I think about you all the time, and I'm wondering what your body temperature is.
Yeah. Only people as obsessed as we are thinking about these things. And thank goodness somebody put that into the script. And you know what? Respect for wanting to get back to Geordi, too. Like, who wouldn't want to go back to Geordi? Geordi never has gotten enough love. Ever.
I'm a big fan of Geordi. I'm a big fan. And I know there's someone in my life who hates Geordi, and it tears me up inside. Yeah.
Who is this person, and when should we fight them?
I'm not going to out them on the show, but
okay. Yeah, I suppose internet outrage is. Yeah, okay,
I think how he treated. He never got over how he treated Scotty in Relics.
Okay, so he
Which,
was a jerk to
fair-
Scotty.
To be fair, he was a jerk in that episode.
Yes, but there's many other things to Jordy than that one episode.
Like his taste in wine is pedestrian at best.
Yes. And also, like, how can you hate anything LeVar Burton does? Just the man is a legend. So, okay, if you were Mariner and Tendi and T'Lyn, would you just not want to beat the crap out of these guys after what they've put you through?
There needed to be some sort of decompression. There needed to be some sort of coda where they address the time slippage. Where they're like, wow, you are a year older. You look different. You know, like you're like, we're not the same age anymore. You know, I don't know. There just needed to be something.
Oh my gosh. There could have been all sorts of jokes related to that. And very insulting ones that maybe could have gotten the guys their comeuppance that they really deserve here.
Yeah. Like this
no.
felt like a very Voyager-esque reset button.
Yeah. And I don't know how well that sits.
We get a Wrath of Khan callback with the
torpedo
shooting out.
Yeah. 100%.
All right, folks. Well, there's our episode.
Oh my God. That went by way too fast. This episode is fun, though. I've watched it a few times at this point, and I'm not tired of it yet.
It was better than last week. It was definitely better than last week. But
we were hard on last week.
We were hard on last week, but it was still a lot of missed opportunities.
Yeah, we were not wrong, and at the same time, yes, we were hard on it.
Well, I'm talking about this week. This week
was
like this week was still better than last week, but a lot of missed opportunities.
Yeah, there was still some room for growth. I think we pointed that out, and well, that just maybe are we on the upward trend now as we just start sprinting to the finish here? What will episode 8 have in store? I guess we'll find out.
We'll find out next episode. So thank you guys so much for listening. Please go to thenerdputty.com for all of your nerd needs and where you can contact us and find us. You can find us on all your major social networks on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and now Blue Sky.
Woo!
And so you can find me on Blue Sky at the Insane Robin.
And you can find me at Oh the Profanity.
And until next week, live long and prosper.
Join the revolution. Join the Nerd Party.